The resonance of echoes.
Maya lived in the quietest corners of her own mind. At 15, the world felt too loud, too fast, and far too crowded. She retreated to her bedroom, a sanctuary of peeling wallpaper and ink-stained notebooks. There, she held her only true friend, a battered acoustic guitar with strings that hummed with untapped secrets. To everyone else, Maya was just a girl who didn't speak. To her guitar, she was a storm waiting to break. As her fingers pressed against the frets, the first chord rippled through the air. It wasn't just sound, it was a pulse. The walls of her room began to vibrate, the edges of her posters curling and dissolving into mist. Maya closed her eyes, letting the melody guide her. She wasn't playing a song, she was building a door. With every strum, the floor beneath her turned into something softer, something ancient. She opened her eyes to a sky the color of a bruised plum. She stood in the realm of resonance, a world born from her composition. Huge, crystalline lilies swayed to the rhythm of her heartbeat, and the clouds above drifted in sync with her tempo. This was where her shyness died. Here, every note she played manifested as a flash of light or a shift in the landscape. She was no longer a ghost in her own life. She was the architect of a universe. From the edge of a floating obsidian cliff, a figure watched her. He was a silhouette of shifting smoke, wearing a wide-brimmed hat and holding a shimmering saxophone. This was Coda, one of the Watchers. He was a shadow of a legend from a time long before Maya was born, a soul who had left his mark on the world through sound. He didn't speak, for in this realm, words were an inferior currency. He simply listened, his essence flickering with every minor key she struck. Maya felt his presence and changed her rhythm. She moved from a melancholic folk tune to a sharp, driving blues riff. Coda raised his saxophone, and though no sound came from it that a human ear could track, the world responded. The crystalline lilies turned into jagged pillars of neon light. Maya laughed, her fingers dancing across the strings, matching the silent guidance of the legendary shadow. They were two eras colliding in a single harmony. The music intensified, and the realm shifted again. The ground turned into a sea of liquid chrome that reflected a city of towering speakers. Maya ran across the metallic waves, her music becoming faster, more complex. She felt the weight of the legends watching her, not just Coda, but dozens of shadows lining the horizon. They were the giants of the past, and they were waiting to see if she had the courage to find her own voice among theirs. Suddenly, a string snapped. The sharp crack echoed like a gunshot, and the vibrant world instantly drained of color. The liquid chrome turned to cold gray lead, and the music in the air died. Maya stumbled, her breath catching in her throat. The silence of the real world was leaking back in the fear of failure, the weight of expectations, the feeling that she was nothing compared to the shadows that watched her. Coda stepped down from the heights, his shadowy form moving gracefully across the gray expanse. He didn't offer a new string or a miracle. Instead, he placed a translucent hand over Maya's heart, then pointed toward the broken guitar. He gestured for her to continue. He wanted her to know that legacy wasn't about perfection. It was about the persistence of the soul when the equipment failed. The music wasn't in the strings. It was in her. Maya nodded. She gripped the guitar, ignored the missing string, and began to play a raw, percussive rhythm against the wood of the instrument. It was a new sound, untidy, fierce, and entirely hers. The world exploded into a kaleidoscope of colors that the Watchers had never seen. The shadows began to fade, not into nothingness, but into the very fabric of the world she was creating. They had found their heir. The sun began to peek through the blinds of her bedroom. Maya sat on her bed, the broken string still dangling, but the silence no longer felt heavy. She picked up a pen and wrote a single line at the top of a fresh page. The song doesn't end when the music stops. She tucked her guitar into its case, stepped toward her bedroom door, and for the first time in years, she didn't look back.